Hey guys, it's RJ from The Secret Stacks, and today I want to talk about my reread of The City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and how it really got me thinking about the Mortal Instruments as a whole. Now, I did this reread for two reasons. First, I've never actually made it past City of Bones in the Mortal Instruments series, and I'm finally doing that, but I wanted to get some momentum by reading book one first, just so I didn't forget anything. Second, with the new Shadowhunters TV show, it's really got me thinking about the series as a whole, and trying to figure out why the adaptations haven't worked. Now, there are very real and legitimate reasons why the movie and the TV show have failed on their own merits, but I actually want to talk about something that's book specific that I think hasn't translated over well into the various different adaptations. And that's how Cassandra Clare lets her characters breathe and thrive in the little moments. Now, what do I mean by that? It's those small scenes or in between scenes in the book that aren't integral to the plot, but where we really get to know the characters better and she really lets them roam free. Whether it's ordering Mushu pork and sitting down for a modern style family dinner, or those little quips in between the more harrowing moments, it's here where the characters really come alive. And it's those moments that haven't been there in the adaptations, for two very different reasons. First, that's not the movie's fault, it's just the art form. You're never going to get that in a 2-hour anything. But when you strip the Shadowhunters down to just a plot, it becomes one, incredibly confusing in that 2-hour time period, and two, it feels bare bones and you don't feel for these characters. And it's not a singular one-liner from Simon that makes him great and witty, and it's not a cocky quip from Jace. It's the accumulation of those things where she lets the characters feel natural and lets them grow with those characteristics. A lot of Cassandra Clare writing these characters about them having lines, but there's a difference between a teenage guy coming up with a witty line for a girl and a group of writers coming up with a witty line for an audience. And while it's a subtle difference, it's a huge difference, if that makes any sense. I don't quite know how else to explain it, and I know I'm not being totally clear, so bear with me. But she allows the characters, I think the best term is she lets them breathe, and she lets them be scared, and she lets them say things out of nervousness. And I think that's something that you really don't get in either adaptation. And it's my personal biggest disappointment in the show, because it's where it had the greatest potential. With their longer art form, you can have that, and there have been TV shows that have had it, especially when I found out that McG, I know that's the guy's name, was an executive producer for Shadowhunters, because he has had multiple different shows that have really allowed characters to thrive in those small moments, become witty, become full characters, versus just these stereotypical one-liners that it comes off as. Now, if you don't know McG by name, you do know his work, especially in the form of the OC. And the OC is a perfect example of allowing characters to thrive in interpersonal dynamics. Now, I think there's more than a casual relationship between a Seth Cohen and a Simon and a Ryan Atwood and a Jace. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about where the foundation of this strength is, because I think it's really interesting about Cassandra Clare as an author. I think most people know, but just in case you don't, Clare got her start in fan fiction, Harry Potter fan fiction. I think her claim to fame was shipping Draco and Ginny Weasley. A lot of other authors and some readers look down on fan fiction, but I think it's actually a really strong foundation for what makes the Shadowhunters series great, or the Mortal Instruments series great, is that it's all about the characters, because the plots are never as good as they are in the source material. Let's be honest, you don't read fan fiction because you're interested in, all right, what new bad guy is Harry Potter going to face? He's got the ultimate adversary already in Voldemort. But it's about fleshing out these characters, living with these characters longer and beyond the pages. And I think that foundation really is folded into her own original writing, because she really thrives in, again, these small moments where nothing's happening, or even if something's happening, she lets them be small in big moments, and it's all about the characters and it's all about who they are as people and their genuine reactions to things. And I think that's what makes the series resonate with so many fans, because they can resonate with characters. When I encounter great characters, I'd be more than interested just to read 500 pages of them sitting down to dinner and what's going on in their lives. Characters are a much bigger driver and more interesting driver, I think, than the plot itself. Now, I know there are other reasons that the adaptations haven't worked, but those are on their own merits and focuses on weaknesses versus I think it's interesting to think about what strengths haven't been portrayed. And for me, it comes down to those characters and how you feel for them. So, whether you agree, disagree, let me know down in the comments below. And I also want to give a quick shout out to a Goodreads reading group, the YA Warriors, which has a bunch of friends of mine from BookTube on there. And coincidentally, I was reading City of Bones while they were reading it for their book club. I'm not on Goodreads. That's probably a topic for another video, so I'm not a part of the group. But I think they do a great job of discussing. I know multiple of them have videos about the City of Bones, so I'll link to a couple of those and the group down below. Throughout March and the next couple of months, I'll be powering through the rest of this series, so I'm sure this is not the last time I'll be talking about the Mortal Instruments. But until next time, see ya.